people may notice at this point that Stuart's mouth is moving, and his mute button is on. And I'm just going to say
that was great, wasn't it? Fuck it, let's do it again. Hi everybody, can you hear me this time?
Hello.
Well, that was embarrassing. Welcome to ESC Fan TV. There is a storm brewing, and it is not Klara. It's Melfest time. That's right. We are here tonight to review the second semi-final of Melodifestivalen. Let's see who is on tonight's show. Here's the gang. To my right, we have all the way from Stockholm, giving it to us from Sweden, bigging up the Swedes and their competition this week. We have Gustav.
Hello, everyone. Of course, I'm back for another Melodifestivalen show.
Yes, and let's see tonight, Gustav, whether you have any support, because I kind of felt you were like a lone ranger last week. So maybe tonight will be better for you.
I sure hope so.
Directly below me, we have Elliot.
Hello, everybody. I love how Stuart, after months of you laughing, asking being on mute, you did it to yourself this time.
It's twice in a week. It's great, isn't it? And in the middle, towards the bottom, we have Phil and Michelle for their second show today.
Hello. Hi.
Making her debut this evening, we have Mel.
Hello. It's only taken me a year to actually come on, but I'm here.
It's been a gradual process. And on my right, we have my co-host, as always, Tom. Hey, Tom.
Oh, sorry. I just thought I'd do a Stuart impression.
Very funny,
everyone. Do you know what, Stuart? It's great. And do you know what? It proves that you're only human, isn't it? Because you spent every time telling us to make sure the mute button isn't pressed.
Had to happen. Had to happen eventually. Thank you to everyone who joins us live in the chat room. Make sure to keep your comments coming through. We will respond to them. Make sure you click the like button, click subscribe, wherever you're watching, whether it's on Twitter, on Facebook, or on YouTube. Make sure you click the like and subscribe buttons. And if you're sick and tired of looking at us, you can listen to us on the way to work on our podcast. You can find us on iTunes and on Spotify. Also, we want you to take part in ESC Fan TV. And until, about sort of midnight tonight, you can send in your 30-second reaction clips to any of this week's national finals, semi-finals, and whatnot. Even the songs have already won and will represent their countries at Eurovision. Send your clips through to info@escfantv.com via WeTransfer. You have until 11 Central European time tonight, which is about an hour or so. So get doing it now. Melfest time. Let's go straight into it. Song 1 was Klara Hammarström with Nobody. And I think the kicking tonight off should be Gustav. Gustav, what did you make of this one?
It was quite a good number, but the song is very blonde and forgettable. And that's all the nice things I have to say about this one. She was very hyped before the show, and I was very disappointed, to be honest.
Song goes, I don't need anybody else, nobody but myself, looking like a young Jessica Anderson. Mal, what did you think of Klara?
I didn't mind it. It kind of felt a bit sort of Margaret-ish, but she didn't really. She was a bit wooden when she was moving on stage, but she nailed the vocals, I thought.
Yeah.
I did think it'd get through to Andra Chansen, but guess not.
She looked stunning, though, and it was really well performed. I just felt the song was perhaps a little bit on the forgettable side. Elliot, what did you think?
Well, I think, I agree with you about the whole Jessica Anderson thing, because even when I saw the clip on Thursday, I was like, she's styled in stage just like Party Voice. She's in black and the dancers are in bright pink. Like, it's just a carbon copy. The song was good. She performed it well. I like it, to be honest. But, it was just a case of she was just a little unfortunate of who she was against, because when it was the final 5, any of them bar one could have fallen out. I felt like it was quite close in my mind. and it was just unlucky for her. I think if she was performing last week, she would have easily got through to Andra Chansen, I feel like, but it was just the luck of the draw for her, unfortunately. It was a great show opener, though. It was a lot of energy and a lot of fun, and she did herself justice as a debutant.
Yes, she did. She did. Phil and Michelle, did you like this one?
I thought if you typed in generic dance tune in a computer, you'd come up with this.
It was the right song to open, just to get everything, up and running.
She sang it really well.
She did.
Sang it well.
It reminded me a bit of Replay from Cyprus last year, but a little bit. But it was okay, There was nothing really bad about it.
It was a good opener. It was in the right spot.
Yeah.
To start, to kick off.
She got a fair few votes as well. She got just over 950,000 votes, which for a song coming fifth is really quite remarkable. Tom, what did you make of this song? Should it have qualified, or at least gone through Andra Chansen?
Absolutely. And one thing, just to compare, she got 951,000 votes last night. Last week, fifth place only got 660,000 votes. So it goes to show how popular the song was. Do you know what? I thought this was a fantastic start to the show. I thought it had a really good vibe to it. And to be honest, part of me is still perplexed as to why it's still not in the competition. I thought it, deserved to retain its place.
Song 2. So last week we saw the return of Johansson during the interval act in Sweden, and then all of a sudden a week later he's replacing the outgoing Torsten Frink with the song, and this is where I start butchering languages, Miraculanus Tid. Go on, Gustav, how should I pronounce that?
It's Miraculanus Tid.
There you go. I was about 90% bang on there. So Johansson performed it. It came last. What did we think of this one? Let's start with you, Phil and Michelle.
I thought my dad did well as a stand-in.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a last-minute sort of stand-in. He did a great job with the song, but it was always filler. It's a bit of nostalgia. It was a nice song, but it was never going to go anywhere.
Yeah, it was nice, sort of sway along. It wasn't going to go anywhere, but I don't think he ever intended it to. He did well.
It was one for the old folks, really.
Yeah, I loved it.
And Tom, there's been an awful lot of songs of recent times sung in their native language, Swedish especially, in this kind of style that you've been drawn to. Was this one for you?
Alas, not. Do you know what? I think, and it's the shame because I think the song actually had a lot going for it. As per Melfest, sung in its native language, good quality song, but it had everything going against it, really, didn't it? From the moment the singer got thrown off last week, with a stand-in that just basically was fitting it into its schedule, it was kind of all made very clear from the off that this was just going to make up the numbers this week, and kind of showed. So
some reason I turned on SVT during the week on the app, and I saw Torsten Frink being interviewed on what could only be described as Swedish morning television. So he's obviously trying to make a comeback. What's the sort of lowdown in Sweden at the moment, Gustav? And kind of what was the deal with the song going into this semi-final? Was there a view that this would not qualify regardless of Jan Johansson?
Yeah, this song was doomed from the start, from the start. With that said, I think it's a very cute song, and I would totally stream it. But it was doomed from the start.
Mal, is this on your playlist?
No, it's just a bit of a non-event, isn't it, really? It's not. No, I've forgotten what it even sounded like, to be honest, already.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I couldn't sing it back to you. Nick, Elliot, so would this be on your Spotify playlist? Other music streamers available, of course?
If I was doing a dance playlist, yes, because this is the perfect timing for Avini's waltz, the waltzing melody. So that was really nice. Apart from that, God no, this was awful. Doomed from the start. What is Thomas Gierson doing with this sort of song? And Jan was just called in because he was 3, and fair play to him for stepping in. But if the song was just withdrawn and we had 6, I doubt it would have been missed.
No, and they could have done that, to be fair. So it was kind of a weird one that they brought him in, because I don't necessarily connect the song with Jan Johansson and his style. Like you say, I suspect he was just taking one for the team, as it were. Song 3. This is where we start with the qualifiers. Dotter with Bulletproof. She made her debut back in 2018 at Melodifestivalen. This was very different to Cry. Mel, you were a fan of Cry back in 2018. What did you make
I
of
loved it. It was
Bulletproof?
one of my favourites. So it's nice to see her back. It was nice to see her get through as well, like straight to the final. Like, you could tell she was relieved to just not be out from the first two. So I do think it's a lot more commercial. It's more accessible than Cry was, so I think that's probably why it's been more successful this time. But I thought it was really good. I thought the staging were pretty cool, and yeah, well done.
I think she's really charismatic. I kind of didn't see that necessarily with Cry, but when I look back, maybe there's elements of it. But certainly with this song, you could really see that she gave everything in that performance and really delivered a really meaningful stage show. Elliot, what did you make of this?
Okay, well, like Mel and like Gustav, I absolutely adored Cry, and I was gutted when it got eliminated so early on. And I'm thrilled she's come back because Dotter is amazing. I'm not sure if this song worked enough for me, though. It's fine, but the chorus is really repetitive, I feel like. And in fact, just doing the same movement of that each time, it got very old very fast. I'm not sure about the staging as well, where like it was shining off her, because A, that must have been blinding her in the face. Secondly, I didn't see any strobe light warning coming up on the screen, and that like made me almost go blind at the end, like bloody hell. And I don't know, like she sang it amazingly, but I just feel like the song is missing something. I don't know. So I'm thrilled she made the final. Like you could see it meant so much to her. Like, and I wasn't sure she was going to even make Andra Chansen, to be honest. I thought she could have been fifth. So I'm glad she's in the final. Glad she's gone directly through. I do see this in the bottom three in the final, though. I just don't see it having any impact, sadly. But I'm really, really, really happy for her, and I love Dotter. So
it's really weird. This is the song I've been singing around all day. This is the one that stuck with me. Phil and Michelle, did you like it?
Actually, I wasn't that keen. She sang it well, but I just didn't like the song for some reason. I thought the best thing was the mirror top, to be honest. Sorry, but it wasn't my sort of thing.
I thought she was going to take a head off and it was going to be Denise Van Outen with all the mirrors, because she was the masked singer with the mirrors on this week.
Oh, is that the black one? I missed that.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, spoiler alert. But I quite like the lights flashing off the mirrors and everything. And I thought that was quite good. I thought maybe a few of the audience might have been blind. But it does get stuck in your head, which is handy when you want the whole of Europe to vote for you. So
yeah,
I think she could do well.
I should probably just drop in that this, given that we have an international audience, there'll be a lot of people who won't have a bloody clue what you're going on about, Phil and Michelle, because they don't watch TV.
I don't even know what I'm on about.
Gustav, what's to come in?
I love Dotter so much, and I was so happy for her that she got through. With that said, and this hurts me, I have to agree with Elliot. It's like I love the performance, but I don't necessarily like the song that much, and I kind of feel like her voice is a bit too weak for the song. It's like it doesn't really match up for me. But and it's no Cry. Cry was so much better. But I'm happy for her, so let's focus on that.
Yeah, Tom, round this one off.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to give a big shout out to the people in the chat room, because they've gone mad for Dotter. Martin Palmer, Human Glitterball, nice lighting. David, Dotter was outstanding vocally and stage was brilliant. Aileen, this performance screams winner in my opinion. However, and these words come out like, sharp bitter pills, I agree with Elliot. I was a bit underwhelmed. And like Elliot, I think that there was a real possibility that she was going to end up in 5th place. I can't wait to see the voting figures from this semi-final, because I've got a feeling there was probably a hair's breadth in what came top and what came 5th. Love Dotter, brilliant and everything, but would I have picked up the phone and voted for it? Sorry, not for me.
Okay, let's move on. Song 4 was Mendez. Mendez back again, but featuring Alvaro Estrella. Some will remember him from taking his clothes off from a few years ago on Melfest. The song was Vamos Amigos. What did we make of Song 4, Elliot?
This song needs to vamos out of the competition. Oh my God. Didn't like it. It felt like Alvaro was asked to sing, and then Mendez was like, the uncle's like, oh, I'll jump in as well. No, Mendez, just get off stage. It was so cheap. I'm sorry. I mean, I know Wales in the competition is a bit of Latin fun, and they're going to be putting Andra Chansen, and work for them. I just really hope they go up against like Malu or Felix, who can just easily get rid of them, because this song is just absolute trash and not in the good fun kind. But they didn't go directly through, so I don't have to drink on stream, so that's all right.
Given we've had no Margaret this year, this was my little bit of Latin fun. I was happy to see this go through. Mel, what did you make of this?
I absolutely love it, to be honest. I can imagine that being on in like the Euro clubs. And I don't know what it is, but I'm strangely sexually attracted to Mendez, so that probably helps. I'll call him Pappy if he wants. But
we're gonna have to at him. Sorry, carry on.
I think he did the right thing getting someone else to do the main vocals, because he's not a strong singer. So I think he brings the star power, but with the extra singer, I just loved it. I just think it's really fun, and I hope it gets through to the final.
Yeah, just a point of mention for Alvaro, because I thought when he sang that song a few years back, I just didn't think he lacked confidence on stage, given the type of song that he was singing. I thought he was much, much better last night. Maybe it works better having another person beside him. Regardless, it's made Andra Chansen. Phil and Michelle, were you dancing around in your living room to this?
Yeah, I like this one. I think if it had come from Spain, I'd have not been surprised at all. It sounded like your typical Spanish entry. So I was a little bit surprised to see it here, but it was a good song. Yeah, it was fun. It was jolly. Yeah, I enjoyed this one.
See, I agree with Mel. I put down in my notes, I could imagine this in the club.
Yeah.
And it's like the youth probably loved this. But I wasn't sure with the staging. It was odd staging. It just seemed a bit bizarre.
He kind of he had a bar, didn't he? Kind of had a bar. He had a couple of stairs, and looked like something straight out of Cuba.
Yeah, it was just odd. Maybe that is what Cuba looks like. I've never been, but it wasn't. It didn't hurt my ears, but it wasn't the worst of the night.
Okay, let's go to Gustav. What's the reaction been in Sweden with Mendez? And was it the right song, in your opinion, to make Andra Chansen?
Sorry, I have a bit of a cold here. Mendez is very popular and people really like him here in Sweden, so I wasn't surprised at all when he got to Andra Chansen. I was actually, for one moment, I was actually thinking that he would go straight to the final. With that said, it's a fun party song, and I kind of enjoyed it. It's not my cup of tea, which you probably have guessed. But let's talk about the performance, because it was really tacky. I watched Melodifestivalen with a bunch of Latin American people, my husband included, and they were all like, what is he doing? And that bar was supposed to be a tequila bar, so he mixed a lot of countries there. I don't know. I wasn't sold on it.
Tom.
Oh, come on.
You loved this, didn't you?
Whiskey cocktails, rum, rum, rum. Oh, yeah. Oh, amazing. I loved the staging. I loved the dancing. It had me bopping around the room. Come on. This should have been director final. I thought, they had the complete package. Yeah, absolutely amazing. I thought, really solid performance. Absolutely adored the staging. Who cares whether it's a tequila bar or a rum bar? It's alcohol. It's all going to go down the same hole anyway. So, it's yeah, nothing but high praise. Exactly.
And we're going to move straight on to Song 5. Song 5 sees the return of Linda Bengtzing with Alamina Sawyer. 7th time in Melfest. And I thought this was her best. I'm sure I'm going to get some shakes of the head in a minute, but I thought she was absolutely brilliant last night. I thought she killed it. Elliot, what did you make of this?
Well, we now know where Sui's light tubes from Eurovision You Decide went. Linda stole them. I don't think this was her best Melfest entry. I still think that goes to, was it 2011 when she qualified, just in all the yellow with the boots? I can't remember. Yeah, okay, thank you. It was all right, but it was just your typical tacky Schlager song, which they gave to Linda just to make it a bit more special, because that's what Linda Bengtzing's known for. It was just pure Linda, and it was fine, but it was never going to go anywhere. So I hope she had fun. Looked like she did. Next.
Tom, I bet you love a bit of Linda.
Might have done. Yeah. Okay. I loved it. Let's face it. As far as I'm concerned, for me, last night, songs 1 and 2, I was like, okay. Song 3, I was like, little bit of a move on. Vamos Amigos, dancing around the room, gets to this. Oh, in my element. Amazing. Let's face it, she is a very accomplished artist. She had a typical Schlager song, and let's face it, as Joe commonly says, my music taste is somewhere 20 years behind everyone else's. So in which case, it was ideal for me. Yeah, she gave a solid performance. Brilliant.
Oh, that was really good. Phil, Michelle, did you like to see Linda back at Melfest?
Oh yeah, I loved it. It was a good old-fashioned cheesy Swedish pop song, but I mean, unfortunately, the problem with it was old-fashioned. So it wasn't really going to go anywhere, but it was nice. It was a bit of fun in the middle of the competition. Yeah, it was all right.
Oh my God, I agree with Phil and Tom. I loved it. Oh, I loved it. What's not to like? I think the people that don't like this, there's something wrong in their soul.
I thought she smashed it. I really did.
I feel attacked by that comment, Michelle. I feel personally attacked.
It's a matter of taste.
You'd know if I was personally attacking you, Elliot.
Do we need to revive the banner? Is Elliot's music taste always wrong?
No. Because on that show, the song I loved went through, actually. Moving on. Sorry.
Let's move on. Mel.
Yeah. I guess there's something wrong with my soul as well, because I just won't feel it. I don't know. It's been done a million times, and it's songs like that, and it felt a bit like, do you know, Mean Girls, the mum, where she's like, "I'm a cool mum." It felt like that's why it was a bit cringy watching her dance. But yeah, it was inoffensive, and she did her best. But we're never getting through.
I'm just looking at Gustav, wondering who's holding him back.
The dog.
So you got to meet Linda at the very start of all this good stuff when you represented us at the press conference. She was really excited about doing this again. What has she got to kind of do to progress back to the final? Because I thought this was her strongest performance. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it's one of her strongest performances that she's ever done out of the 7. But it still wasn't enough.
I don't think there's anything to do, actually. It's just how the Swedes vote, and with the app voting and everything. I think that's the big crime here with the app voting. With that said, I love everything Linda touches. She's such a queen. Not as big as a queen as Anna, but we are talking about that later. But this was just a really good song, a really nice performance, and I wish it would have gone better for her, because she's such an amazing person too. She deserved better.
And yes, she did. Song 6, it's the debut of Paul Ray, Talking in My Sleep. Lately, I've been talking in my sleep because it's the only place I see you in my dreams. He's a very well-known singer-songwriter in Sweden. He's internationally known. Let's start with Elliot. Elliot, what did you make of this?
I honestly feel like the song, with someone with a bit more confidence and better vocals, could easily win the entire competition with this song, because the song is a winner, the performer isn't. I was so let down, and the person I'm staying with as well, massive Melodifestivalen fan, we were both so let down by his performance. He was bouncing around the stage, like his whole energy was off for this sort of song, and he just sounded a bit flat. I don't know if it's just me, but his voice and his manner just didn't suit this song at all, sadly. Because yeah, say for example, if Felix took this song and sang it like he sang every single day, easily win. And Paul Ray was, you've been saying since the start, he was a dark horse to win the entire show, and I was starting to believe it. But I'm not sure now, because like something was just off, sadly, and I really had high expectations for this.
I enjoyed his performance, actually. I thought his kind of this sort of street take on a ballad was really, really well received. I loved it. Phil and Michelle, what did you think?
I'm going to agree with Elliot. I thought his vocals were a bit weak as well. It's not really my kind of thing. It was all right, but no, I don't think his vocals were great, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just thought it was bland. I can't, that I can't stand someone wearing black with a black background. It's like, what's the point of that? You start losing the person who's singing the song, and it's distracting. But it's just forgettable the way he sang it. Just no, it's not for me.
Tom, you love a ballad. Was this for you?
In short, no. Talking in my sleep, more like put me to sleep. I just didn't like it. I'm so sorry. I just thought it was a total snooze fest. I think the performer wasn't suited to the song. I don't think the staging did him any favours. And to be perfectly honest, I mean, this is the one song out of all of them last night that I would never have put forward to Andra Chansen. I would have put something else through, whether it be Linda or Clara. It just totally not for me. I was so disappointed to see this get through to Andra Chansen.
Oh, interesting. Gustav, he's a big star. Was it a surprise he didn't make it direct?
Actually, he's not that well known, actually. He's well known on Spotify and things like that, but he's not a name that you talk about. Most of the people got to see him for the first time yesterday, so I don't think that the staging helped with that. It was supposed to introduce him to the big Swedish public, and it just didn't work. With that said, it's a fantastic song, and I have been streaming it all day, so I hope it goes through Andra Chansen.
And Mel, rounded off. What did you make of Paul Ray's song for you?
I'd agree with Elliot. Like the song's great. He's not great for it, and the staging really reminded me of Liamo in 2018. Like it's the same color scheme, similar sort of vibe. But if Liamo had sung this song, it'd have been a million times better. It's just nice. Like, doesn't offend me or anything, but it's not great. Just average.
Oh, and I was so hoping it would be better received than that. There we go. Just a quick shout out to those in the chat room. Steve, nice to see you. We've got Aline, we've got Jade Funky Coffin, love that title. We've got David Gonzalez from Portugal. We've got Suck634. Not quite sure what that reference is, but we'll move on. And we've got Novino as well. So good to see you in the chat room. Keep your comments coming in. Song 7, Queen Anna. We're going to start with Gustav because he absolutely adores her. We've met her. We met her last year. We interviewed her on escfantv.com. Gustav, you also got a few seconds with her. What do you think of this? This was going to win from the start. It had everything you'd want from modern day Schlager. It was phenomenal. What did you make of it?
I just love Anna so much. I don't know what to say because I'm just so filled with love for her and everything she do. And this performance was outstanding. It was so good. And we had those sexy dancers and her amazing voice. And I can just go on and talk about this for like half an hour. So I should probably stop.
It was a bit Mission Impossible where those four guys just suddenly pouncing on her like that, wasn't it? In fact, we've had a comment in the chat room from Steve. It says, loved Anna and her choice of friends. Phil and Michelle, what did you think of Kingdom Come?
I thought this was the best song of the night. I mean, you can tell that she really wants this. She put everything into it. It was a good song. Almost sounded a little bit country and western, maybe, not completely, but a little hint of that. But yeah, it was a good song, and I think she deserved to go straight through, definitely.
Yeah, I think the only way that this could have lost was if you'd put a tenner on it, Stu. This was always going to be the big song of the night. Everyone loves Anna.
Mel, what did you make of this?
I think so far this is the one to beat, surely. Like, that chorus is just a complete headworm. Like, I've been walking around singing it all day, and obviously like Steve just said about the dancers, I remember him liking Waylon's dancers as well in Portugal. So I wonder which he prefers best. But yeah, I just think it's great, and it's even got the dance moves, so it's ready to go. And it'd be nice to see it get back to Eurovision and qualify for the final as well, as a bit of like retribution for her. So if she did win, I'm not mad at all.
I think, talking of hooky choruses, I think the two songs that did go through, both have the best choruses of any of the 7 songs this evening. And I've been talking about how I've been running around sort of singing to myself Bulletproof. Both songs, you just don't forget. Elliot, what did you make of Anna?
Absolutely loved this, hands down. Runaway winner of the night, best song of the competition so far. She has so much more confidence compared to Ashes. She owned that stage. She looked amazing. This has got top 3 in the final written all over it. And I do think it's interesting, she's actually shot up to the bookies' favourite now. And if Anna Bergendahl wins with Kingdom Come, I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be elated because, 10 years on since what happened in Oslo, it would just be just an amazing retribution story. And, she was incredible. Like, we cannot deny it. She just set a torch to 6 songs before it. She ran away with this, no question.
And finally, Tom.
Stu, let's put this in perspective. She came back last year. As Martin said, I think last week, Anna felt that she needed the actual performance of Ashes to Ashes in the semi-finals in order to then get it right for Andra Chansen, which she did last year. Since then, she's done so many events as well. I mean, I had the real happy fortune of seeing her at Eurofest over the past year, and I can still see her face when the crowd went absolutely nuts for her. I mean, she was almost moved to tears by the sheer volume of support she got. And you know what? I think all of those real positive fan interactions this year have had a massive impact for her, because she's come back with an absolute brilliant song that I think is still at its heart. I know Phil said it's still got a bit of country and western in there, but that's good because that's typically her. That's typically her style. She's come back with this stonker of a song. Let's face it, she looks and sounds like a diva. She commanded that stage from the outset. I mean, the focus was totally on her. I know people said the dancers came out of nowhere. If you watch it back, the dancers didn't come out of nowhere. It was the fact that your attention was just transfixed on this absolute diva that was just commanding the stage brilliantly for the whole thing. She has to be the favourite to win this year so far. Absolutely amazing. Loved it every minute.
So let's ask that question. We've got 4 direct qualifiers so far. We've got the Mamas, we've got Anna, we've got Dotta, we've got Robin Bengtzson. Out of those 4, who's the most likely to win Melodifestivalen right now? Let's start with Elliot.
Anna, hands down. It's catchy, it's hooky, she's really likable. There's little to fault about this performance, Anna.
Phil and Michelle, who would you pick?
Yeah,
Anna.
Yeah, definitely. That was for definitely Anna. That was a star performance. Yeah.
Mel, who would be your pick?
Anna, 100%. But I do think the Mamas could potentially give her a run for her money.
Gustav, who would you pick? Do I even need to ask?
I was going to ask if you did even need to ask me, but you don't. Anna, hands down. But I might be a bit biased. It's always Anna for me. It's always Anna for me.
Before I ask my co-host, just to let those know in the chat room that we're going to announce all of the other shows we'll be running shortly. But before we do that, can you please click the like button, click subscribe, very, very important. And if you want, you can listen to us on podcast as well. Big hi to some of the latecomers. We've got Karen's from Latvia in the chat room. Nicholas is here. Nicholas Eriksson, Nicholas Norgard, I should say. Nicholas Eriksson is here as well. Good to see you all here, guys. Tom, who would be your pick? I've got a feeling I know, but let's round this off.
Yeah, come on, it's Anna. Let's face it. She went onto that stage. I totally steal Elliot's phrasing. She took a torch and burnt every song that has come in Melodifestivalen so far. Totally destroyed them. Brilliant.
And I'm going to be the odd one out. I'm going to go Dotter because I think that's the best song so far for me. That's Melodifestivalen semi-final 2 done. Tom, what have we got coming up next?
Oh my goodness, Stuart. Well, for a start, tomorrow we're going to have a day off. I mean, if you haven't had a chance already to look at the fantastic content we've been doing, you've got programs on Australia, Italy, Norway, loads of stuff to catch up on. We've been on every day so far since Friday of last week. We'll be back on Tuesday. We've got Bite Size. We're going to be rounding up some of the other finals that have been going on. In particular, we're going to be focusing on Latvia and Estonia as well. Then we're back on Wednesday night for the Norway final preview show. Can you believe it? 5 weeks of Norway. This is the last preview show on Norway. They've got their 10 acts going through to the final on Saturday night from Trondheim, and we're going to be previewing them. And then, of course, we start rolling into the weekend. It's another Super Saturday. We'll be doing Norway review shows. We've got Melfest review shows. If you want to know the place to be, it's ESC Fan TV.
And on that note, we'll say goodbye to Elliot.
See you later, guys. Thank you as always.
Goodbye to Phil and Michelle.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
Great to have you on your first show, Mel. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been great. Hopefully I'll do it again next weekend. So
Nice
see
one.
you then, maybe.
Nice one. And goodbye to Stockholm. Goodbye to Gustav.
Bye, guys. Can't wait to see you again.
And Tom, it's been great, but busy weekend. Let's have a couple of days off. See you later, my friend.
Adios.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.